All right, what is going on, everybody? Vega here from SerpentX Special Forces. Thank you for coming by for another episode of Caffeine and Crypto. I welcome you to join me with a caffeinated drink of your choice. If you don't enjoy caffeine, water, tea, whatever you like. Well, tea is caffeine. I keep saying that every stream. But anyways, hope you're all doing well. Thank you, everybody, coming over from the Red Panda Mining show, as well as Crypto Mikkel's morning show. This is Saturday Morning Crypto. I believe I will be ending off the morning aspect of it because technically it's 12 o'clock now. But we have other crypto mining experts joining us in the space later on today. If you aren't already subscribed and staying up to date with them, you should do so. So the market's doing pretty well. I did kind of post stuff on YouTube, and then some guy called me out, which is like, is this financial advice? It sounds like it. And that he's got a very good point. I didn't put the thing in quotes, not financial advice, but I did call certain things not perfectly, but just paying attention to the charts, looking at things, and we were hitting this for max. You know, hang on one second. Let me pull up TradingView real quick for us. TradingView, because we were hitting this 40K wall, and if we keep hitting that resistance, I knew something was going to happen. Either we're going to go up or going to go down. And now we're stuck in no man's land. And so here's that 40K barrier, right? So we touched above it, got brought back down. Touched it again, brought back down. Touched it again, brought back down. It's like, all right, if we don't make like a run for the border, it's going to be bad. So we started dipping down, and then boom. All right, so now we're stuck in no man's land, sitting between 42 and 40K. Now, keep an eye on this, only because it could probably be a bull trap or the whales messing with us, and it could be a Bart Simpson pattern. Not a really good TA guy. I'm just starting to pick up on it, starting to see what, you know, what's what and stuff like that. So be very careful. You know, don't go betting the farm on it, but keep an eye on things, right? Long term, I'm bullish on cryptocurrencies in general. But for right now, just keep an eye on things, is because we're going to bounce around between this area for a little bit. But the market's doing pretty good. I mean, we haven't seen green in a while. Thank you, everybody, for coming over. Like I said, High Speed Miner, what's up, buddy? Tech Shinji, yes. Houston, the Eagle has landed. All right, cool beans. Anonymous Miner. So yeah, I see a couple of the members in here. I appreciate you. I'm sorry that my channel got banned and a lot of your memberships got canceled or turned off. I don't know why. But if you're not a member of the SerpentX Special Forces, you can do so down below by hitting the join, and joining will get you access to Discord. It is a private Discord with only a handful of people in there. But I welcome newcomers to come and ask questions and be more active within the community. I know Misfits over at Chump Change, Red Panda Mining, Brandon Coin, like their Discords are popping. And no, mine is nowhere as great as theirs, but yeah, it's a growing thing. We'll see how things go. Anyways, Bitcoin moving up, kind of sitting right now in no man's land. We'll see how things go. One thing that I want to say here, so I'm a big enthusiast in cryptocurrency as well as automotive or car scene. I will be running through Caffeine and Crypto and all the news articles that I have. So if you're trying to get my attention, at me, super chat, whatever you can, because I like to go through all the various news pieces. But it's very important that we see how cryptocurrency is being kind of interwoven with the world that we live in, right? So Formula One, I'm a big fan of Formula One and all racing in general. We got the IndyCar Bitcoin team. We got Crypto.com sponsoring a This Tech Talk episode on Formula One, and they're on the Formula One cars as well. And you're starting to see more tech tubers talk about cryptocurrency on a more relevant basis. Not always in a positive light because they're doing gamer content. We know the gamers are upset with miners, stuff like that. But you can see that it's becoming more relevant. Major news outlets are always talking about cryptocurrencies, what's going on. So it's going to become a regular thing. And this is, we're not fully enveloped in the, mass adoption area yet, but I can tell you that maybe 4 out of 10 people either have some crypto or a little bit of crypto in their digital wallets, which is good to see. The world is growing. The world is starting to accept crypto a little bit more. So Doge Lord Apparel asks, what coffee do I like? El Pilon. El Pilon is the coffee. It's the red and yellow brand. Comes in like a brick box basically, but it's called El Pilon. It's very, very rich and very strong. So if you're used to Maxwell House or any of the regular house blends, be careful because that thing will make you jolt real quick. Chump Change, thank you for the $49.99. Holy smokes, thank you, sir. You didn't have to do all that. I appreciate it, though. I really do appreciate that. That's crazy. Wow. Yeah, smash the like, guys. Appreciate you stopping by. All right, so for those of you in the live chat, I'm going to go through the news. Like I said, if you need my attention, at me. If you have any questions, at me. Super chat, whatever you need to do. But for those of you watching in the future, please watch to the end because there's an important conversation that we need to have that we'll get to in about 3 to 4 articles from right now. But record 57K BTC leave exchanges in one day, dropping Bitcoin reserves to pre-crash levels. TradingView showed BTC USD rise to the challenge the upper end of its trading range once more on Thursday. Now, this article was written on July 29th. Keep that in mind. The pair had seen a pullback after initially hitting the multi-week highs of 4.6K or 40.6K on Bitstamp earlier this week, bottoming out at 38.8. Bitcoin then returned to the latest trip to the 40K mark when it's with that level still being flipped to support convincingly at the time of writing. Amid concerns over the strength of this week's rally, data on Thursday nonetheless pointed to genuine demand for BTC at higher prices. Shared by BYBT and Crypto Quant, the data appeared to show the largest one-day outflow in at least a year. A total of 57,000 Bitcoin left the exchanges in 24 hours. So people are moving their cryptocurrency off of centralized exchanges because they believe the value is going to go up or whatever it may be. They don't want to keep it on exchange. They may move it to another exchange. But we're seeing a lot of people take their money off of centralized platforms and into their safekeeping or whatever it may be. Exchange balances returned to levels last seen mid-May, just before the major price correction after Bitcoin began reversing from an all-time high of 64.5K. So, what does this mean? Just before a major price correction, we started seeing this, cash flow being pulled out and stuff like that, maybe converting it to some type of stable coin and stuff like that. Does that mean the whales are expecting, things to go south? And so you should convert your money to stable coins now? I can't guarantee that. I can't say that with 100% certainty, and none of this is financial advice. But this is why I said, be careful if the whales are playing games and we're bouncing between this 40K and 42K, they could screw you. So don't go betting the farm. Your best bet is the dollar cost average. And some people ask questions like, holy smoke, Anonymous Miner, would you guys stop? 0.01 more than Chump Change. And also, Servo don't need to read this part. You're making money on this channel. Well, I'm trying. All right, because my full-time job isn't exactly paying the bills, so I have to do what I got to do, which is why this stream is sponsored by DogeLord.com. Link is down in the description, and I'm wearing the shirt that I mentioned, or that Red mentioned in his live stream. Get involved, mine crypto. It always starts off with 1 GPU, then you get 2, then 3, then you got a 6 GPU rig, then an 8. It turns into kind of an addiction, but to me, it's a healthier addiction than anything else that you could have out there. And I've struggled with certain things and challenges in my life in the past that I'm not going to get too personal about. And I'd rather have this cryptocurrency mining or / hardware tech addiction and automotive addiction, which are the two most expensive hobbies, than anything else, to be honest, because those are more life-threatening / life-ruining. MicroStrategy CEO likens borrowing to buy Bitcoin like investing early in Facebook. So we all know about Michael Saylor, the CEO business software company MicroStrategy, which holds more than 150,000 or 105,000 Bitcoins in its reserves, told CNBC Friday that borrowing money now to buy more Bitcoin was like investing in one of today's dominant tech companies in the early days. Richard Todd, thank you so much. No, thank you. You say thank me, but thank you. Appreciate that. Everybody who's donating, thank you. You guys don't have to. Again, if you're trying to get my attention, at me or super chat me. But if you don't have the funds, please take care of yourself, your household, your family first. If you borrow billions of dollars at 1% interest and invest it in the next big tech digital network, that you thought was going to be a dominant Amazon, Google, Facebook of money, why wouldn't you? MicroStrategy Michael Saylor said, according to CNBC, I mean, if I could borrow 1 billion and buy Facebook a decade ago for 1% interest, I think I would have done quite well. Let me know if the stream's getting choppy. I'm seeing chops on YouTube, but OBS is telling me that we're sustaining our bit rate. So Saylor noted that his company has 2.2 billion of debt and pays about 1.5 interest on that debt. Since last August, his company has financed its purchases of massive amounts of Bitcoin using company cash flows, equity issuance, convertible debt, senior secured debt, and a 1 billion shelf registration. Our point of view is being a leveraged Bitcoin long company is a good thing for our shareholders. All right, so this is one of the companies that we heard so much about that has been continuously buying Bitcoin even during the dips, accumulating more and more. So don't you think that we should be accumulating more and more? It's going to be very hard for every individual like us to own 1 Bitcoin, but it's all about stacking them sats. Amazon plans to accept Bitcoin payments this year, claims Insider. Now, right now, if I wanted to buy something with the cryptocurrency that I own, the cryptocurrency I don't own and I don't mine, and we'll get into why I said that in a minute, is, say somebody would convert their funds using BitPay, right? They can connect it to their Coinbase account or what have you, and go from there. Or maybe they're buying cryptocurrency through Robinhood, which I wouldn't recommend because you don't get to send that currency to another wallet. You just get to buy and sell on that exchange and then sell it and use your card. Crypto.com as well. There's various ways to use your cryptocurrency to make purchases, but a lot of people aren't using it for purchases. They're using it as a store of value for the future. An anonymous source within Amazon has reportedly told London Business newspaper that the e-commerce giant is planning to start accepting BTC payments by the end of 2021, possibly setting the stage for broader mainstream acceptance of crypto transactions, which is pretty nice. This isn't just going to be through the motions to set up cryptocurrency payment solutions at some point in the future. This is a full-on, well-discussed, integral part of the future mechanism of how Amazon will work, the source told the publisher. The source indicated that Bitcoin is the first step in Amazon's crypto ambitions. Executives at the company were keen to add other established cryptocurrencies in the future. The directive is coming from the very top, referring to Jeff Bezos. In addition to accepting Bitcoin payments, Amazon said to be exploring creation of its own cryptocurrency, possibly as early as 2022. So, stopping right there. And by the way, I'm going to get these articles in the live stream for you guys right now. But basically, if we got China, right, putting a ban on cryptocurrency because they don't want Bitcoin, right, to supersede their own cryptocurrency that they're working on. And we got various countries seeing Bitcoin or cryptocurrency as a fundamental way to, save their economic wealth because their currency or their local fiat is junk. And major companies like Amazon start accepting it. That's gonna be a huge step forward in adoption. Little bit more centralized than I would like, but it would be a huge step forward in adoption as these big companies come on board, and should help out with the market. So Amazon planning on accepting payments later on this year, as well as rolling out their own cryptocurrency in 2022. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section or in the live chat down below. Let me drop this last one in here and we'll get started on this next story because this is very important. As Red Panda Mining had mentioned in the previous stream, we have the infrastructure bill that's going on. Now, I'm very keen to pay attention to the infrastructure bill because there's a lot of changes or things that are happening that, first off, the country, the United States, needs to invest in the infrastructure of this country. Because there's other countries out there that are just whooping our butts and we need to do better. But they slipped in a very annoying term defining broker and what a broker is defined as, and that's what's concerning to the cryptocurrency community. Now, I can't speak 100% to it, but let me just read a few key things to you, maybe not all of it, and then I'm going to give you some resources that I want you guys, or I challenge you guys to check out. When I say guys, I mean ladies, and gentlemen, okay? It's just a universal term. I mean no disrespect. A late addition to the infrastructure bill moving through Congress would impose impossible reporting requirements on miners and wallets. In a potentially huge disruptive move, a last-minute provision of a major bipartisan infrastructure bill moving through the U.S. Congress could impose stricter reporting requirements on cryptocurrency transfers, which the bill estimates would raise an additional $28 billion in tax revenue. But the legislation, according to the last two crypto regulatory experts, is so badly flawed that it might be unenforceable. Specifically, the rule as written appears to define any actor who participates in the transfer of cryptocurrency as a broker. That could impose transaction reporting requirements on a strange array of players, including miners and decentralized exchanges, DEXs. The creator of software wallets, which miners, say for example, software wallets like Exodus or Jax or whatever may be out there, could even be required to track and report user transactions. So now that these software companies, if they are wanting to meet this regulation, so to speak, they may have to keep track of us, right? So that's KYC for everything. If you're using software to mine, they're going to have to keep track of that. If you're using software to maintain your wallet, they're going to have to keep track of that. According to both crypto lobbyist Jerry Brito of Coin Center and Blockchain Association head Kristen Smith, software and hardware crypto wallets, of course, do not track or report user transactions, which would make the law impossible to comply with. The disconnect highlights the shaky foundations of the U.S. attempts to tax or regulate crypto. There are at least two separate bills in the House of Representatives attempting to establish basic definitions, jurisdictions, and standards for crypto regulation. Having those in place before trying to rush through this bill would be a better idea, but of course they're trying to rush it through because with the infrastructure bill being a $1 trillion setup, how are we going to get this money? How are we going to pay for it? Well, the taxpayers will pay for it, but how else can we do it? What else can we utilize to help save money, stuff like that? Well, let me give you a couple suggestions, government. First off, legalize medical marijuana throughout all 50 states. Okay, that industry by itself. I know that will make your drug dealer friends that you are not friends with upset, but it will at least open up the industry because we can get rid of the opioid epidemic, but at the same time have a taxable revenue that is a growing market in the U.S. You got multiple states already supporting it, and it legalized. That is a good way to accumulate additional funds for this infrastructure bill. Coming at crypto the way you're at right now is not very smart because you're going to stifle innovation, or you're going to push users that came here away from China because they're getting banned to go to a different country, right? So now we're going to lose the decentralized war that we're trying to fight right here, right? So Asia has Asia has a lot of and I think they still have a good majority, even though I'm not sure if it's government sponsored or what, of the network hash rate of some of these cryptocurrencies, which is not decentralized whatsoever. The fact that the China ban is helping spread out the hash rate amongst the world is a good thing and is a positive thing for cryptocurrency. And if we shut the doors here, they're just going to move somewhere else, but then we're not going to be a key player. The U.S. needs to be a key player. And when I say, let me back up. Not the U.S. North America needs to be a key player in the crypto space, period. Right? Because what we do impacts the world, right? We need to be setting the role. We need to be the role model for the rest of the world if we want this to really grow. And cryptocurrency / blockchain is here to stay. The difference is it going to be behind closed doors or on the dark web or through various connections, or is it going to be out in the open with proper regulation and proper oversight? You don't force people to do what you want just because you want to tax them. We have rights as human beings. The case of software wallets is illustrative. They're fundamentally tools for interacting with database, not tremendously different from a web browser. They are not services any more than they are your leather wallet. They are not services any more than your leather wallet is a service for holding a dollar bill. There is in fact, no service managing Bitcoin or any other legitimate cryptocurrency, at a fact that fundamentally clashes with the regulatory framework, legislation. All right, you know what? I can't read that. We're moving on. All right. So let's see here. If you want to read on, you guys can. I have this article linked, but I've been listening to Seth from Mind Your Biz, who did a video. Let me see. I don't know how loud this is going to get.
Time to do a
So I already contacted my local legislation because, you know, this was a thread that spawned off of Twitter. But it's been going around. Like, we were talking about this for a minute. It's just more, it's getting a little bit more feisty, but it requires everybody in the cryptocurrency community to not, for one, be educated on the situation. Two, you know, this article that I'm reading to you is not the bill, okay? They're highlighting parts of it, but it is not the bill, okay? We got to get educated on the actual bill. Son of a Tech and I think I sent it to Son of a Tech, but I'm not sure if he got it. But basically, this new definition, tax code definition of broker to capture nearly everyone's crypto, including non-custodial actors like miners, forcing them all to do KYC, is not a smart move. It's going to turn people away. It's not good. The bill expands the definition of broker to include any person that is responsible for regularly providing any service, effectuating transfers of digital assets, right? So when you get paid out in cryptocurrency for your mining shares, that's a transfer of digital assets. The definition is so broad it could apply to nearly every economic actor in the U.S. crypto industry if read literally. This includes proof of work miners, proof of stake validators, since providing the service effectuates transfers of digital assets for consideration. It might include a huge range of DeFi market participants like DEX, LP, liquidators or LP providers, and protocol governors. The tax code requires brokers to comply with the IRS reporting requirements. More importantly, that is to give a Form 1099 to their customers to file with the IRS. To fill out the 1099, brokers have to collect customer data, including names, address, phone numbers, etc. So you're going to be forced into KYC. We saw this with, what was it called? Pro hashing, right? So that's a hashing pool that you can hash to, and you mine whatever cryptocurrency is profitable and get paid out in whatever you want, and you can do it in percentages, stuff like that. That's why they're reporting to the IRS. Coinbase reporting to the IRS. NiceHash reporting to the IRS, right? All of the companies and all of the pools that we mine on are slowly going to be forced into reporting to the IRS, which I find kind of unfair. If anything, the IRS should be focused on the conversion aspect, the end aspect. You know, after, you know, if I mine for 2-3 years, when I go to convert that money to, or that crypto to fiat, that's when I need to report it. But that's my take, and I could be completely wrong because I'm not a politician, and I'm not a government expert, and I'm not a financier. I don't fully grasp everything. I just know this would not, coming at us this way is not good for the crypto scene. Hang on, I'll check chat in a minute. Also, those who understand crypto already know users are synonymous, and access is permissionless. It's literally impossible for non-custodial actors like miners to get information they need to do the 1099 form. There are 3 main ways to raise revenue in a bill like this: to increase current taxes, add new taxes, and improve tax compliance. This allegedly falls in the 3rd category, improve tax compliance, making people pay taxes they already owed. Congress thinks crypto is full of tax evaders, which it isn't, and I agree with that. This is a deeply misguided provision that, if adopted, will do far more harm than good to the U.S. interest. If you give up, and he talks about his top 5 reasons, adopt regulation for which compliance is literally impossible unless the goal is to kill the industry, the crypto industry. Second is a huge foreign policy failure. After China made the geopolitical blunder of forcing miners out of their country, many of us hope the U.S. will take the market share in this crucial sector. And that's what I'm hoping for, but not with the bill as it states, or not with this section as it states. It needs to be amended. We can't make the same mistake as China did. We have to stay in the game. Third, it won't work. For every new dollar of tax revenue, we lose 2 or 10 as the U.S. crypto industry shuts down or goes offshore. And instead of getting more insight into taxable crypto gains, the IRS will get less as more users go dark or in unregulated platforms. And he goes on to continue. There's 2 links here that I'll copy right now and put in the live chat. If you're here in the States, contact your U.S. representatives, House of Representatives, and Senator, And we want to let them know that they really need to take a deeper look into the situation. I would leave you with two things. One, I would check out my boy Seth here from Mind Your Biz. Check out his tweet, check out his video, and also additionally, Son of a Tech did a really good job. I watched it this morning in providing some general insight and guidelines on the situation. Now, he did ask for the bill, and I shared it in Discord, but I don't think he saw it by the time he made this video. But we need more information, okay? Like in the bill that I found, the definition that they provided for brokers, it was just like one line. We need more information. We need more data in order for us to for us to properly educate you. Like right now, I'm going based off of information kind of generalized, and I don't want you to take everything that I'm saying as Bible. I just want you to be aware and educate yourself. And if you find something, at me on Twitter or wherever, and point me in the right direction. Links, you can't link on the YouTube comments, but you can link in Twitter. If you can find a specific paragraph that it talks about this, we need to get a discussion about it, because this is not good if they plan to push this through. But we have to see how things go in the long run. So hang tight. Doesn't mean cryptocurrency is dead. Doesn't mean cryptocurrency mining is dead or anything like that. It just means that the world's gonna have to adjust. It's not final. It's not in stone yet, but we do need to make adjustments accordingly. All right, so let's see here. All right, so some people are with me on the legalizing marijuana, because the marijuana industry, legalized marijuana industry, would bring significant income to the United States, especially for, helping out with the $1 trillion infrastructure bill. In other words, the music's about to stop. I mine to avoid KYC. Yeah, so that's why I don't mine and I don't have crypto. I have a crypto channel, but I don't mine and I don't have crypto. Moving on. What I would suggest, and Son of a Tech suggested it too, what I would suggest is you got all these guys, and let me bring you guys in for a close-up real quick, because this is a serious discussion. Not financial advice, but let me just advise you of my opinion and my personal thoughts. What Son of a Tech advised, and I'm on the same ballpark, is to move your funds off of centralized exchanges, right? You got a lot of countries looking at Binance right now, going like, no, you need to do this, you need to do this. And there's other platforms that are being targeted by regulators that we're going to get into later in the stream, so stay tuned. But if I were you, if you were a person that trades, 10% of what you have in an exchange on a regular basis, right? Your cryptocurrency, about 10% of it you keep trading or stuff like that. I would take whatever you're not utilizing off the exchanges. If you have things on exchanges, centralized exchanges, because you're earning interest or providing liquidity or stuff like that, those are really hard, because you're going to have to make a determination on, like, is it worth leaving it there or whatnot? Because the biggest thing is when this bill rolls out, if it rolls out as is in the future, those exchanges are going to have to comply. If they don't comply, they're going to get shut down. If they get shut down, that's your crypto assets. Now, you may have time to remove those crypto assets before they completely close, but we've had exchanges in the past get shut down by the government, mostly because they were doing something nefarious. But, just be careful. I wouldn't keep all your money on an exchange. I would keep it in a secure cold wallet, hardware wallet, whatever you can. Just be safe, be smart, and always pay attention to what's going on in the news. I try to bring you some relevant topics during Caffeine and Crypto, but I don't get all of it. So it's important for you to stay up to date. It's really easy on my phone, which is an Android. I go to the Google Chrome browser, and all my news feeds and stuff like that are right there. And then I also pay attention to Twitter. There are people that I follow, people within the space, like Son of a Tech, Red Panda Mining, so on and so forth. Seth from Mind Your Biz, Biz Be Trippin'. And Biz Be Trippin' actually also commented on this original thread with me. And he says, Jake, while these are the dreams and wishes of a few in Congress, and if this actually went through, wouldn't it just get immediately locked up in court and beaten to oblivion, as it's anti-competitive, nearly technically impossible anyway? Additionally, it's a strategic misstep. And I couldn't agree more, so I'm going to like that. And then I already told them that I already contacted my House and Senator. So take action, pay attention, get educated. Don't sleep on it. All right. Moving on. We're about halfway through. Cardano risk 60 to 90% drop, warns trader with ADA painting and classic bearish pattern. Now, this was about 20 hours ago. Spotted by veteran analyst Peter Brandt, the classic technical pattern can result in ADA price losing almost 90%. Now, let's go look it up real quick. I guess we'll do USD. I don't like comparing against fiat currency. I like comparing against BTC, but we'll go ahead and do it. All right, so we had a Bart Simpson there. We're sustaining anywhere between $1.25 to $1.32. What is this guy saying? Let's find out. All right, so Cardano is close to obtaining the title of fully fledged smart contract platform following a critical upgrade in mid-July. The project's founder, Charles Hoskins, which also now, I believe, works, and correct me in the live chat. I need your help, guys. In the live chat, doesn't Charles now work with Ethereum Classic as well? And I think that's a positive thing for Ethereum Classic. But correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure that was announced, and we talked about that in a previous video. Let me know in the live chat. All right, so Charles Hoskins confirmed that they recently processed the sales of more than $10 million worth of non-fungible tokens on top of their public ledger. Moreover, Sunday Swap, the first DeFi DEX to utilize Cardano smart contracts, is expecting to launch soon, and many ADA investors interpret this as a potential bullish catalyst for the altcoin. But the Ethereum rivals growth as a project might not lead to higher adoption for its native cryptocurrency ADA, at least according to an analyst shared by Peter Brandt, Chief Executive of Global Trading for Firm Factor LLC. The veteran analyst shared a bearish setup for ADA in a tweet published Friday. He cited a critical technical problem known as Head and Shoulders to predict a downside scenario for Cardano token that is already up by 600% on a year-to-date time frame. The Head and Shoulder forms when the price forms 3 consecutive peaks atop a single support level, with a condition that the middle peak is higher than the other 2, which are typically of the same height. The price eventually breaks below the support levels, also called a neckline, and falls, but as much as a maximum height between the middle peak top and the support level. So according to that, what's he thinking? Target of 35 cents. Okay, so analysts envision ADA USD exchange rate to drop as far as 12 cents, down 90% from the pair's current bid of $1.26, which is $1.30 now. A percentage based on a calculation of Head and Shoulders pattern, marked in a profit target near $1 or 35 cents, down 60% from his neckline. Again, I am not as smart as this person, Peter Brandt, but if I do see a drop, we would get supported at 125. Let's zoom out here. 4 hour. Yeah, so I see us dropping. If anything, we'll get supported at the dollar range, and the $1.10 range. That looks like a pretty good range there. I see nothing but great things happening for Cardano, especially with the news that they've been doing, especially working in Africa, but we'll have to see how things go. But Peter Brandt saying that if you're in ADA, be careful, pay attention to what's going on. He's predicting a pullback, but I think we're going to be okay. The crash that followed in 2017 bull run originated primarily because of the so-called initial coin offerings, or the ICOs, which we're all far too familiar with. Far too familiar with. I was going to curse, but I'm not. In contrast to the 2020 bull run, though, that came in the wake of a microeconomic blunders, the Federal Reserve's efforts to contain the economic aftermath of COVID-19 crisis saw it launching an unprecedented quantitative easing program. As a result, near zero interest rates and $120 billion worth of asset purchases sent investors looking for better alternatives and riskier markets every month. As a result, Bitcoin boomed from the low 4K range in March 2020 to above 65K in April 2020. Meanwhile, altcoins, which tend to tail Bitcoin's trends, surged likewise. Cardano's ADA was one among them and is now trading more than 7,000% higher than the mid-March bottom. We got a quote here from Simon Kim, CEO of crypto venture Hashed. Firstly, various DeFi projects are creating value based on a clear business model. Secondly, we're seeing record active investment by institutional investors, which I've been seeing a lot of as of late. And finally, various on-ramps and off-ramps, including not only PayPal and Visa, but also large banks are now emerging, right? We got various banking and financial institutions getting into the market, wanting to get their head in the game. So even if we did see a pullback on ADA, I think we'll be perfectly fine. It's just another buying opportunity. And as always, you want a dollar cost average into things. So leading off of the previous discussion where we talked about how this bill is worked out and stuff like that, this is what I was talking about. Binance to wind down the derivatives market in Europe. Malaysia orders closure. Derivatives market is, yeah, pretty much sounds like FUD. You're right. So the people that are leverage trading, right? Or they're trading, what's that thing where you could like get on these exchanges? I think Binance was selling like Tesla shared points of shares of Tesla. I can't remember anything. But the point is the crackdown on these cryptocurrency exchanges is getting more and more severe, especially as more and more, if you paid attention to last week's video, I talked about India and I talked about Europe and Germany and all these various countries cracking down on exchanges as a whole, and we could see even more. So Binance regulatory woes worsened Friday as Malaysia ordered its halt its operations in the country. Separately, the cryptocurrency exchange said it's planning to wind down futures and derivatives products across Europe, starting with Germany, Italy, and Netherlands, which we talked about last week. The SC, the Malaysia Security Commission, issued a public reprimand against the company in order to disable the website and mobile apps in its country. According to the commission, Binance is legally operating a digital asset exchange. The country's laws demand that all exchanges must be registered with the SC. And I think Binance is trying to work with regulators and get registered and proper whatever this and that. But they don't have a central location. That's a bad thing. If the regulators want them to have a central location so they can be served papers, or that their lawyers can sue their lawyers, that's going to be a single point of failure. And I think that's why CZ is avoiding it. But I think they are trying to get a central location. We'll just see how things go, especially if they have to comply with all these rules and regulations for each country separately. That's why I think the U.S. or North America kind of setting the rule book, so to speak, would be a beneficial thing, so that way other countries can follow, because so many countries have different regulations on cryptocurrencies and exchanges, stuff like that, indexes, that if there was a more defined rule book from people that actually understand the space and understand the politics and understand the regulatory ways, would be much more beneficial than just everybody doing their own thing, because one exchange to survive throughout all countries would be a hard thing to do, even for a big company like Binance. Existing positions will have been closed by a as yet undetermined date. The decision in Binance's latest moves to distance itself from products and services that have drawn scrutiny from regulators in a slew of different markets. Earlier this week, Binance announced it was stopping crypto margin trading involving sterling, the euro, and Australian dollar. This follows just hours after CZ tweeted the company was reducing the maximum leverage the users can trade with in futures contract from 100 to a 20, which was stupid anyways. 20 is even high. Why was people on there trading at 100x leverage? They probably, you can probably make a lot of money with that. Great, I'm happy for you. But at the same time, you can lose a lot of money. Why would, what, I don't know. Anyways, moving on. I didn't even put that article in the live stream, so we'll have to go there. Yet another thing, this time here in the States, Kentucky orders BlockFi to stop signing up new interest accounts. So if you don't have a BlockFi account, which I may have to remove from my description, to be honest, even though I'm not in Kentucky, I'm just saying, in the description, I have various links to maybe hardware that I recommend, which I don't recommend getting now because the price is ridiculous, or dogelord.com, which is a referral link, or BlockFi, or Coinbase, or this or that. If you look down there, you'll see my affiliate links, which helps support the channel. Well, BlockFi is one of them, and I may have to remove it, depending on how things go, as Kentucky tells BlockFi you can't sign up new people. The Kentucky Department of Financial Institutions have become the 5th state Regulator to claim the BlockFi interest service violates state securities laws. Excuse me. Energy drinks. Kentucky's Division of Security ordered the crypto lender to stop opening new accounts in the bluegrass state. Kentucky joins New Jersey, Alabama, Vermont, Texas in alleging that BlockFi interest accounts violate state securities laws. BlockFi website offers cryptocurrency lending and borrowing services through its BlockFi interest accounts, BIAs, advertised on the website. Through these accounts, investors may deposit a certain amount of cryptocurrencies with the company's exchange for a specified interest rate. And they actually have decent interest rates on some of their crypto. Not all, but some. And I talked about that in a previous video, putting your crypto to work for you. So if you haven't checked that out, make sure you hit the channel and take a look. But now that Kentucky's joining it, we have Kentucky joins the Texas filing for a cease and desist, while New Jersey, Alabama, and Vermont have filed show cause orders. Many of the state regulators pursuing allegations against BlockFi have given the company an opportunity to provide evidence in support of its claim. New Jersey has given BlockFi until the beginning of September to respond, while Texas securities regulators have a hearing scheduled for early October. Despite its regulatory woes, the company is still pursuing a $500 million Series E funding around ahead. Wait. 500 million Series E funding round ahead of possible public offerings, according to documents reviewed by CoinDesk. While the round was anticipated to close earlier this week, it's unclear whether it has done so. Clarifies. Kentucky. All right, so Kentucky is only the second state to file the cease and desist against BlockFi, while the other three states, show cause orders. So, yet another. I wouldn't. It's not a full-blown exchange, like Binance and Kraken and Coinbase, but it is an application in which you can easily access from your phone, have an account, do some KYC, and earn interest on your crypto. I know a lot of us in the crypto space don't like KYC, but it is something that we have hurdles because at some point in time when you go to exchange your crypto to fiat, you're going to have to bump into that. So unless you meet some guy in a trench coat somewhere over-the-counter source or something like that. So Brazilian central bank projects significant migration to digital payments. So not all countries are against cryptocurrencies. I thought this was interesting, and I like covering news like this. But Brazil is one of a few of the South American countries that have been actually looking into cryptocurrencies. And validating it as a source of payment. So, the Central Bank of Brazil, during a panel this Thursday, the potential, yada, 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 yada. All right, so let's see here. Valor Econômico, Brazilian financial newspaper, reported, we understand that the use of CBDC, central bank digital currency, will occur in situations where it's able to bring greater efficiency and transparency to transactions, whether from the retail perspective or its use by agents that make up the financial and payments industry, said Mello, director of the financial. If they're designed well, official digital currencies can expand financial inclusion and reduce the cost and time of cross-border payments, Mello said, adding that the process requires extreme care in the choice of design and technologies to avoid violations of data protection laws, bank runs, and cyber attacks. Also, though, I don't want every country to have its own digital currency. I think that's stupid, but that's me. I could be completely wrong. Again, I'm not a politician. I'm not a financial expert. But if every country has its own currency on top of the 11,120 cryptocurrencies that we already have, it can make things a little bit annoying. We have too many S coins. We have too many altcoins. It is absolutely ridiculous. There's no need for all of these coins. No need. Some of these coins were just created as a meme coin or to draw attention or to steal revenue from one company. Like, for example, why is so many companies or so many cryptocurrencies using the word Bitcoin in it? Why? Because when people search for Bitcoin, especially new users, they're going to see it and be like, oh, that's Bitcoin. No, Bitcoin is the real Bitcoin. Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin SV, Bitcoin this, Bitcoin that, Bitcoin Private, Bitcoin. No, Bitcoin's the real Bitcoin. But if you use the name, you can get some of that inflow from users who maybe don't know or just don't pay attention, and they wind up buying the wrong thing. So this is something interesting to me because my channel got taken down, and I've been uploading most of my content to a decentralized platform, Odyssey, like Son of a Tech and Mind Your Biz recommended. Actually, this video that asked you guys to watch is actually on Odyssey. Let me see if I can link it right now. I think that works, right? Yeah, go straight to Odyssey, which is actually on Library. So very interesting. And Live Peer is a $20 million Series B funding backed by a whole bunch of VCs, including Coinbase Ventures, Coin Fund, North Zone, Six Man Ventures, and Animal Ventures. Now, it's not like a platform like Odyssey where you can just log in and start uploading content, but it's very interesting to me. You have to do your own research. I'm not going to talk about this project, but we maybe do a video on it in the future. But you can actually put your hardware and run a node, or you could be a video miner and use your hardware to transcode the videos for other platforms, other video sharing platforms, stuff like that. But anyways, this year has been foundational for the success of projects running on the Ethereum blockchain. Sharing the limelight is LivePeer, an Ethereum-based video streaming network that announced it has raised $20 million worth of Series B funding. Led by digital cryptocurrency group, the funding for LivePeer saw participation from large venture capitalists, including Coinbase Ventures, Coin Fund, and I mentioned all those guys before. Based on the announcement, LivePeer's latest funding will be used to build an in-house protocol to experiment with live stream use cases, such as scene classification, object recognition, song title detection, and video fingerprinting. Interesting. Because, I'm sure I'm not the only one, but if you have a channel and you post a video, your video might show up on some Russian site or some random place, and you didn't give it any permission. I wonder if video fingerprinting will help out with that. Not sure. Anyways, previous North Zone led the institutional funding round and raised $8 million worth for LivePeer. The company currently runs a network of 70,000 graphic processing units, complementing the underlying Web 3.0 technology. Cointelegraph has recently reported the impressive 15% price movement of LivePeer's LPT token alongside Bitcoin's bullish wave. And again, if we go look at LivePeer, which if you haven't heard about it, you should probably do some research on it. If you want me to do a video on it and you're watching this in the future, hit me up in the comments below. I'll try to do my best to take time and get educated on it. But yeah, what's interesting to me is it's not a video streaming platform. It's a video infrastructure. LivePeer is a decentralized video streaming network built on Ethereum blockchain. So I got to do some more research. But this is interesting to me. Video miners increase profits by transcoding video on GPUs while mining. How it works: run a node on LivePeer's network that advertises the price it would charge for video transcoding. Continue your cryptocurrency mining with your GPUs. When video encoding jobs come your way, the LivePeer node routes the task to your GPU, and the encoding leverages different parts of your GPU than mining, so the mining can also continue with minimal hash rate loss, no opportunity cost. Now, requirements, yada yada yada. So what I noticed is when we go to get started, you choose a role. You choose, you understand hardware and bandwidth. You install the node. So we got the Linux Linux. Here's the release page for Windows, Linux, stuff like that. And I'm probably going to look into it, but it's very interesting to me. Because decentralized platforms, I think, can grow quite well, especially with all the drama we've been dealing with YouTube. Jerks. But yeah, you can see, it's been around for quite some time, but it's really seen some recent gains this year. If we look at its all-time high was $43.88. What are your earnings when you're mining or using your GPUs to mine? I don't know, but we may look into it. Anyways, it's getting funding, and projects that are Ethereum based are seeing a lot of attention. And with Ethereum, getting all that love. We'll see how things go. On the 4-hour chart, Ethereum's looking pretty good, actually. Let's go to the daily. It's doing the same thing as Bitcoin. It's doing the exact same thing as Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin pulls back, we may see Ethereum pull back. And if we did pull back, I see the $2,000 level or 2,200 level being some sort of support. How long a support, I don't know, but we'll see. Anyways, moving on. Ethereum price can hit 14K if the March 2020 chart fractals hold. This is very interesting to me. Take it easy, Crypto Mikkel. Let me throw this in the description. I gotta get ready to go here, actually. As soon as I'm done live streaming, I gotta dip. So Ethereum price, and stay tuned to the end because I got another important note I want to give to you guys. I may not get through every article, but it's at least one I want to. Ethereum's native asset faces prospects of closing above 14K sometime in 2021 based on its current trends, striking similarity with the one from last year. First spotted by the user trading spot, the Ethereum fractal involves 3 technical indicators: a 50-day simple moving average, or SMA, Fibonacci channel, and a relative strength index, or RSI. Either close above the 50-day SMA in July 2021, the first time since May 2021, bearish correction. As Trading Shot noted, breaking above the said moving average was historically predicts bull runs. For instance, a run up above the 50-day SMA in April 2020 took the the ETH USD pairing rate from around $170 over to $500 in September 2020 in only 137 days. And they're talking about this chart right here. So with this all calculated, 14K Ethereum by the end of 2021, maybe, but I don't foresee that. But I'm not a TA guy. You can read on additionally on this article. This article was published on the 29th of July. We'll have to see how things go, but I mean everything is looking good. I'm just keeping my eye on Bitcoin because when Bitcoin does thing, it makes waves. Everybody feels it. NFT space. I'm not going to go through this whole article, but I thought it was very interesting because one of my favorite actors in general put out Stoner Cats, and it did really well. And what I'm talking about is, for example, the lovely Pocket Change. She's a female. There's only a handful of females. I only have 3% of my viewers are females. We need to get more females involved in cryptocurrency. I just think it would be so much better if we had more diversity in cryptocurrency as a whole. Now, don't want to get into race, but there are a lot more white people than there are dark people in the cryptocurrency space, especially crypto mining. There's only like a handful of black or Hispanic people, including myself, in the cryptocurrency mining space. So we need more diversity. We need to bring more people in, especially I want to get some females in. I want to get them involved, whether it's through proof of work if they enjoy mining or other applications, DeFi, whatever it may be. A more diverse group. And there are very strong women in the cryptocurrency mining space. It's just mostly male dominant. And, I'm totally okay with a bunch of women taking over and creating projects and doing great things, because when we have women around, it just makes the world a better place. I don't care if you're the type of jerk that likes to say, hey, they should stay in the kitchen. That's bullshit. And if you said that to my wife right now, in person, to her face, you would get wrecked, son. You would get wrecked. Women, behind every great man is a strong woman. And I cannot be who I am today without the women in my life. So yeah, we need to get more women into space. I'm all for it. I'm happy for it, and I'm very impressed that Stoner Cats got so crazy. And I think even there was some issues, like there was a bunch of fees and people lost a bunch of money. But I'm not going to go into that story. But yeah, NFT could be a way to attract more women into the cryptocurrency space, and I am all for it. Now, last but not least, so I can let you guys go. You're brown, good. Let's keep going. Let's get more ethnicity, more races, more sexes. Let's just get it. Let's get more people involved in the cryptocurrency space as a whole. So you can buy cryptocurrency with a credit card, but don't miss the true cost. Now, I hope you're not doing this, but if you buy cryptocurrencies with credit cards, you may get wrecked. What I mean by that is, for example, when you use a credit card companies like to count that as cash advance, and you get wrecked with a fee, and then there's an exchange rate fee, and then there's a commission fee, and it just adds up. And so if you're using credit cards to buy cryptocurrency, you're wrecking yourself. If you don't have the money to buy cryptocurrency from your ACH, your bank account or whatever, or you don't have Bitcoin to where you can convert it into another cryptocurrency on an exchange or something like that, you shouldn't be doing it on credit. For example, let's just take this example here. If you were to invest $1,000 in Bitcoin through CoinMama, you would pay $20 on an exchange rate, $39 commission fee, and $50 credit card fee. In other words, you would need 10.9% return in investment just to break even on these fees. And some people may be using credit cards because they're, Bitcoin's going to be X amount of dollars in the future. I can just pay it off. It'd be no problem. But not exactly the smartest way, especially if you're dollar cost averaging and you're using your credit card to make finite purchases, $25 here, $100 there. That's not very efficient because you're getting hit with a fee no matter how big the transaction is. Well, it does matter how big the transaction is, but if you're making more frequent transactions, you're going to get hit with more fees. So I wouldn't use a credit card. I don't believe anybody that watches my channel does use credit cards to buy cryptocurrencies, but just know that cash advance fees are getting charged if you use a credit card. And there really is a lot of stuff or a lot of other fees that you may not know about. Plus, there's a daily limit. So I'd highly recommend not to use a credit card to buy crypto. And that's pretty much going to do it for me today. Any last minute questions before I get out of here? Sorry I got a little bit personal there. I grew up without a father, and my mom was a major influence in my life. My sister was a pain in the butt to me, but my wife has been absolutely phenomenal in supporting me. And with the conversation I had with Savage Mind's wife, the amount of time that he was taking to make videos and the amount of time that I'm taking to make videos takes time away from our families, especially our wives, and our wives can be upset about that. And she was talking to me and she was upset, but she didn't realize how much of an impact Savage Mind had on the crypto mining community. And I don't know if I have that same impact, but I hope that I'm at least helping one person a day. If I can help one person a day, then I will feel better about myself and I would feel better about my legacy. My whole goal of the channel is to help people. If I say something wrong in one of my videos or maybe not with the full truth, I am open to constructive criticism. I just ask that you be respectful about it. Lead me to resources, links, whatever you got, and I'll be more than happy to re-educate myself and maybe come up with a follow-up video. But I do try to talk about things that I have a decent grasp on, but I may not be 100% right. And I don't like failing people, and I don't like letting you guys down. So I appreciate every single one of you who come and hang out with us every Saturday for Caffeine and Crypto, as well as check out the channel throughout the week. I try to release at least 3 videos a week, if possible, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But I won't always get that luxury, especially as things ramp up. Kids go back to school. We're going back to the office to work. So bear with me. But if you enjoy the channel, you enjoy cryptocurrency, tech-related content, hardware, overclocking, teardowns, that's what this channel is all about. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay up to date. Don't forget to check out some of the links down below to help support the channel where you can sign up. It is an affiliate link and it does help support the channel as well. Don't forget to check out dogelord.com where you can get this shirt right here, which I'm going to full screen right now. Get involved, mine crypto from the SerpentX collection, but there's many of the crypto content creators on there right now. So, that is it. That is all I have. Is Rabbit Mining streaming next? Let's find out. Who is on next? So, DC Adventures coming on at 1 p.m. Is that coming on right now? Oh, Rabbit Mining is coming on too. Okay. Interesting. So, Rabbit Mining is coming on next. DC Adventure, I'm not sure. We just saw Crypto Mikkel this morning. What is this? DeFi Deep Dive. Make sure you guys go and show some love for DCA Adventure as well. I know we're trying to get our boy Rabbit mining back up because he's still fighting for his channel, but make sure you show him, show DCA, show both of them some love. Do me a favor, throw some likes on there. Let them know that Serpent Red Panda Mining sent y'all over there. And thank you so much for stopping by. You guys have yourself a wonderful day, ladies and gentlemen. Excuse me. Have yourself a wonderful day, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care.